Hello, it's February 2022, and I would like to talk about some very major key points in the world today. The people who are going against current worldwide events and whatever is being imposed, who they're going against, begin and end wars, world wars, wars that these very same people who are against current worldwide events and what is being imposed and others fight in. Think about it. These people make the money that you use. They control natural resources, the food chain, they control everything. This is their generational commitment. And they have generations of experience doing what they're doing. And I've said in posts, what do the common person have to bring to the table? Making parties known as marches, protests, whether it be on foot or with rubber. I really want everyone to think about this, who they're up against. And I'm not trying to sound pessimistic or negative or burst bubbles, but the truth is the truth. It's been said many times, truth doesn't matter when it comes to feelings. Truth trumps feelings. But to those who are emotion-based, feelings trumps truth. And I also want you to consider something else. Since all this began, there has been nothing absolute from governing bodies. I use that as the descriptive. But we see, for example, corporations, businesses, and moreover, the common person on the street who accepts current worldwide events and everything being imposed. We see them as the enforcers, not any governing body or any authority types. However, we do observe governing bodies and authority types using peripheral laws, well-established laws that everyone agrees to enforce something. But I digress. Now imagine, everything up until now has been, as a descriptive, a recommendation by authority. And yet, we see businesses, and again, moreover, the people taking that to heart. Now imagine if a recommendation comes from authority that those who are against current worldwide events and what is being imposed should be, as a descriptive, resolved, perhaps even eliminated. Everyone that's in support will act on it. And they are the majority. And this is not coming from mainstream news or anything else. I don't watch any of that. This is just by observation. Where people gather, it appears that the numbers are big. And yes, the numbers are big, and apparently they're downplayed, for example, in mainstream media. But when you compare those numbers of people who do gather with the rest of the population, it's a drop in the bucket. And those imposing dangle carrots, and I've mentioned this before. This protest using rubber, if you understand that descriptive, is just another carrot. And now another carrot's being dangled with a mock grand jury It's not even official. And many lay people are interpreting this as actual legal proceedings, and it's not. And I have briefed the opening statements, and the opening statements, each individual, they're even contradicting themselves, because they're telling everyone who's against what's being imposed, for example, what they want to hear, and they've covered all the bases, and that's why there's conflicts in their opening statements. And a lot of the opening statements support the nonsense, we'll just say. But here's a problem. Everyone's saying people have to be accountable for what's happened. And I'm not agreeing or disagreeing. I've made my stance very clear in many times throughout different videos, posts, even comments. Here's the problem. Everyone, the common person, the majority, who are going along with current worldwide events and what's being imposed, would be co-conspirators, aiding and abetting. So where's the line drawn? We have the people from the perspective of those going against everything, and I'm not disagreeing with them, saying these people committed criminal acts. But now we have everyone who's been supportive outside of authority type of positions aiding and abetting. So do we go after them as well? Things most people haven't thought about. And I've written a review of using one example of a German lawyer with this mock grand jury. And I've shared that. Again, I'm not winning any favors, because I don't tell people what they want to hear. I tell people what they need to hear. And I use my personal and professional experience to do so, plus other insight that I have most others don't have. And I'm not boasting or bragging or being egotistical about it, just stating a fact. Whether there's an actual post-apocalyptic scenario, or the fact that there's no job, there's no money, while civilization still stands, the end result's the same. And how I've been living for many years is what everyone is trying to avoid. Now, I don't want to be right, but whatever is playing out will run its course. We repeat this pattern. I've said this in other videos as well. There's no stopping it or changing it. And I would like to conclude by saying that just because I'm in this situation in my life, after my efforts of whistleblowing and exposing, as well as fighting for truth and justice, freedom, I'm living the way I am, do not use that as an excuse to say that while my state of mind is compromised, that's why I may sound negative, and I haven't been. I've been approaching this since it began from a neutral perspective. But people will use my situation as an excuse not to listen, to discredit me. And that's a kind way of doing it. And there's people who are very rude and blunt doing the same thing. You can listen to me or you don't. Doesn't matter. In the end, it all falls on you. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share.